Do you know what the best thing is about having a screen above your camera so you can look at yourself while you're filming? It is being able to check that your friend is not doing anything stupid. The number of times that I have filmed a video, put it on my computer, and then discovered that my friend is doing something stupid is enormous. It's so bad. And I can never be bothered to refilm the video and fix it unless it's like literally hanging right in my face or something. So yeah, this is a whole new world of not having to look at my face afterwards and discover that half of it's obscured or that my fringe is split with a lovely gap. I don't have a real fringe. This is the problem when you have a fake fringe. Actually no, I had this problem when I had a real fringe too. Anyway, hello and welcome to my January wrap-up. Today I have 3 audiobooks and no print books to talk about because I only finished audiobooks in January. I did finish rereading a print book, I'll Be Home for Christmas, but obviously that was over quite quickly at the start of the month, and then I moved on to the audiobooks that I read. I didn't actually intend to read the first book that I finished as an audiobook. I meant to read a ebook or a print book of it. It was Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine, which I had to read for my book club at work, and I thought that I could get it from the library as an ebook because I'd seen it there many times before while scrolling through and picking out books to read. And then when I logged in to get it, it was already out at all of the free libraries that I can access. So I thought, okay, maybe I can get a print copy, but of course it's a really hot book at the moment, so there was no chance of me getting a print copy. And then I got an email from NetGalley saying that it was on Read Now, so I clicked through and they'd taken it off. So I did the wish for thing that you can do once a book's been taken down, if you can still find it on NetGalley, but I didn't hear anything back after a day. So I got really desperate and I thought, how can I get hold of this book without paying the hardcover price, because it is only out in hardback at the moment, or it was then. I think the paperback's coming out in March. But yeah, I didn't want to pay the hardback price, so I was looking everywhere, every library, everything, refreshing Amazon to see if the price would come down. And also I just really didn't want the hardback. I would have much rather had the ebook, but the price was too close to the hardback for me to be able to justify it, and all these other things. And then I realised that I could start my Audible free trial, and then I could listen to the audiobook. And actually that might be a more sensible decision to make, because then I could carry it around with me much more easily and I could listen to it while I was doing other things. So I found a link where if you're a Amazon Prime member, you can get a 90-day free trial of Audible instead of a 30-day free trial, which means 3 books for free. And I signed up and I downloaded Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine. And oh my god, it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of admin to get it, but it was worth it. And I'm so glad that all happened. And I couldn't just get the ebook from the library first off, because the audiobook was the most perfect thing in the world, basically. It was gorgeous. The book is set in Glasgow and the narrator does all the accents and she has just such a lovely voice. It was wonderful. And I just keep telling everybody, listen to the audiobook. The audiobook is amazing because I feel like it added this dimension to the story, which I think the best audiobooks do. Anyway, the story itself is about Eleanor Oliphant, who lives a very routine, repetitive life. She goes to work 5 days a week. She comes home on a Friday night with 2 bottles of vodka, which she drinks all weekend, and then she goes to work again, and the whole thing just starts over. And that's her life, and that's the way she likes it. She doesn't have any friends, and she's fine with that. Honestly, she's totally fine, completely fine. And then one day, she and a colleague help this man who's collapsed in the street, and everything starts to change. I don't really want to say anything more about this book. There's a lot more I could tell you about it and what happens, but A, I don't really know where to start, and B, even if I don't spoil it, I feel like telling you more about it would detract from all the things you get to discover as you're actually reading the book. It was a lovely, lovely book. It went in some really surprising directions. I thought it was really realistic, and it was heartwarming. And it was also really sad. It was really, really sad. Made me cry, but it wasn't depressing. It covered some really dark topics, but it was uplifting. I thought it was just so beautifully done. You know, sometimes you can feel that if a book is too cheery and heartwarming, then it kind of cheapens the more difficult subject matter, but I didn't find it here. It was just handled so well and so carefully that it all just came together, and the heartwarming bits made the darker aspects seem more sad, and the sad parts made the bits that were heartwarming seem more heartwarming, and it just was lovely, and I would recommend it to anyone. After I finished reading that, I wanted to read another audiobook because it had well and truly put me in the mood to read, or listen to rather, lots and lots of audiobooks. So I opened the Overdrive app, and one of the first audiobooks I came across was How to Be a Bawse by Lilly Singh, who is the YouTuber Superwoman. She does lots of sketch videos and things. She also does daily vlogs. I've been watching her videos for, I don't think, quite a year. Whenever it was that the How to Make a Sandwich for Sexist video came out. I think that was the first one I watched by her. And I've watched loads since. I've stayed subscribed to her channel. And when I saw this, I scrolled down, saw how long it was. It was only about 6 hours. So I thought, okay, that's quite a quick read. I can finish that in a few days. So I thought I would go with that. I don't know really what I was expecting from it. I mean, from the title, you can tell it's going to be kind of like a guide to life. And also, I was intrigued to find out more about Lilly. But it doesn't really give you that much personal information. She touches a bit on when she suffered with depression and how she worked hard to get where she is now, but it doesn't have that much kind of autobiographical content. I think she says that at the start. She says that she isn't really old enough for this to be an autobiography, and that's not the type of book it is. It's more of a self-help book, and I did actually really enjoy it, despite the fact that it wasn't quite what I was expecting. She gives a lot of advice which is quite, I guess, standard if you read books about productivity and motivation and that kind of thing. And, you know, sometimes it was a bit simplified. She didn't take into account all the challenges that someone might be facing, but I think she did a pretty good job considering, and I think that it will be really popular with her fans. I'm not sure how wide an appeal it will have to other people, but I think that her fans will love it. I can see it really appealing to teenagers who are still in high school, secondary school, and are working towards their goals, trying to decide what they want to do for a career, maybe thinking about starting their own businesses. I think for people who are older, like me, it is probably going to be a bit repetitive if you've read lots of this type of thing before. But all the same, I think it did a good job at what it was setting out to be, and I really liked that Lilly herself read the chapters, and she also had some kind of guest readers for some of the chapters. And some of the chapters she talked about how various celebrity friends of hers got to where they are, and she got them to read the chapters. I think the only way it could possibly have been improved for Lilly fans was if her mum or her dad had an appearance in the book. You know, if one of them showed up to do a rap or something, that would have been great. But otherwise, I think it was pretty good, especially if you like her videos. I think if you don't know who she is already, then it might just annoy you, but if you do like her work, then I think you should check it out because I enjoyed it. The third audiobook that I listened to was another celebrity book read by the celebrity, but in this case it was Someday Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham, who is Lorelai in Gilmore Girls, and this is her first novel. I was not expecting much, you know. I'm gonna hold up my hands and say that for an actress's first novel, I was not expecting anything mind-blowing or particularly well done. I was expecting that it would be a fun bit of chick lit, I guess, but I was wrong. I actually loved it and thought it was fantastic. You know, it wasn't mind-blowing, great work of literature, but it was a lot better than I could possibly have thought it would be. And I really want to read her memoir, which my sister is actually reading at the moment. I bought it for her for Christmas, so hopefully I'll get around to that soon. So Someday Maybe is about a young woman who is an aspiring actress in New York. She wants to work in theatre, but all her jobs so far have been in adverts. She works as a waitress, but she's finding it really difficult to juggle waiting and going out on auditions. And she's in this acting class. They have a showcase coming up. Oh, and she promised herself that she would only live in New York trying to be an actress for 3 years, and she has 6 months left. What I really loved about this was how it looked at ambition and time limits and when to give up, and how sometimes you just have to kind of keep on going regardless and not take that step back and look at the bigger picture and worry about it, because that can just distract you from where you want to go by making you nervous, by making you not give it your all, by making you consider other things that aren't your first choice option. I really liked the message it gave, and the story and the characters were all really fun and interesting and also unexpected. You kind of go into it assuming that certain characters are going to be a certain way, and then things don't turn out quite like you expected, if you're like me in any case. So I really enjoyed that as well. So all in all, I had a great reading month. Didn't finish any print books, still dragging my way through The Blind Assassin, which I've just been reading for ages. I've been managing a little bit every day for the most part, but it is just taking so long because it's a massive book and I can't really carry it around very easily. So mostly it's been living at home, unless my plan for that day is literally go to work, go home. I don't want to be carrying it around London, that's just too much. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for what audiobook I could get next from Audible. I'm after something a bit more unusual because a lot of the popular books are up on Overdrive for the library, and obviously I don't want to get something there that I can get for free through the library. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. You'll see me again soon. Bye!